Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Game From Scratch, and yesterday I released a video called Unity's New Pricing is Awful. Now, I haven't changed my opinion on this at all. I think Unity made a massive mistake, and they really need to roll this back. But what I originally said in that video is that successful indies are really going to hate this, and wow, I was not wrong. So what we're going to do is basically go through a bit of a rundown of some of the developer reactions to Unity's announcement in this video. We're just basically going to do Twitter responses from some of the indie darlings out there, and probably the biggest indie darling of them all is Among Us developer Interslove. They had a huge breakout hit the other year, and quite frankly, they're still making a decent amount of money off it, and this directly is going to impact them. And here is their response. We use Unity to make our games. This would harm not only us, but fellow game studios of all budgets and sizes. As this goes through, we'll delay content and features our players actually want to port our games elsewhere, as others are considering. Many developers won't have the time or means to do the same. Stop it. WTF. So yeah, that was where it came from. One of the ones that was first released online actually was Aggro Crab. They were one of the first ones to make a strong announcement here. So hey gamers, today Unity, the game engine we use to make our games, announced that they will soon be taking a fee from developers for every copy of the game installed over a certain threshold, regardless of how that copy was obtained. Guess who has a somewhat highly anticipated game coming to Xbox Game Pass in 2024? That's right, it's us. And a lot of other developers. That means another Crab's treasure will be a fee to install for over 25 million Game Pass subscribers. If a fraction of those users download our game, Unity could take a fee that puts an enormous dent in our income and threatens the sustainability of our business. And that's before we even think about sales on other platforms or pirated installs of our games or even multiple installs by the same user. This decision puts us and countless other studios in a position where we might not be able to justify using Unity for our future titles. If these changes aren't rolled back, we will be heavily considering abandoning our wealth of Unity experience we've accumulated over the years and starting from scratch in a new engine. What is really something we'd rather not do. On behalf of the dev community, we're calling on Unity to reverse the latest in a string of short-sighted decisions that seem to prioritize shareholders over their product's actual users. I bleep hate it here. So yeah, that's another strong response that came out. By the way, there has been a little bit of clarification here in terms of how the per installs work. It's all still a mess. It's terrible and so on. But the funny thing here is they actually think in the case of Xbox Game Pass, they would collect it from Game Pass. And yeah, I can guarantee you when they sent that bill to Microsoft, Microsoft would tell them where to shove it. All right. Now, a little bit of a follow-up. This is Interslove. This is Forrest, one of the major devs on Interslove. So again, back to the Among Us developer. So we've got Brian Buckley. I'm not 100% certain what he made. Caves of Quud. So he's looking at porting it over to Godot. So I bet a decent amount of money I could port everything in Quud to Godot in about 4 weeks. The only thing we'd lose is mobile and console, which is big enough to stick around, but it probably won't be a blocker forever. So the Caves of Quud developer is talking about porting to Godot. At the same time, the Among Us fellow, this is legit kind of math I'm doing too. I've learned that Unity's fees won't be retroactive, which is delightful. By the way, that means that you won't have to pay the fee on previous installs up to this date, but all new installs for existing games, including games that you developed like 30 years ago, actually before Unity existed, but as long back as the Unity runtime has existed, are all going to be hit after January the 1st, by the way, just to be aware of that. But Among Us gets enough downloads per month that I could just hire 2 whole people to port Among Us away from Unity instead of them taxing us for 0 added value. And then we legit have them talking about moving to the Godot game engine. And there's actually been a lot of conversations about people looking to move to Godot or asking questions about Godot or features about Godot. And I can say all of my Godot videos, especially stuff that's been idle for a little while, just got a bump. So there is definitely an effect going on here. Then we have Cult of the Lamb. I absolutely love this game, and if this actually came to be, I would just cry. But basically, buy Cult of the Lamb now because we're deleting it on January 1st. Now, I have to assume that this is hyperbole, but this is definitely not a happy developer. And you can tell this is directly in response to the runtime fee. By the way, if you've never checked out Cult of the Lamb, it's a great game. And maybe pick it up before January 1st. Next up, we have Devolver Digital. Now, they didn't directly say what they said, but this timing is very, very key here because they're kind of making the suggestion that Unity games are not being considered for publishing there. And Devolver Digital is probably one of the biggest indie publishers there is. So this is a pretty big deal when they're saying, include what engine you are using in game pitches. It's important information. And this came out, again, the same day as the announcement. So you've got publishers that are now looking at, should we or should we not deal with Unity games? Because frankly, they're the ones that are going to have to collect this tax or this fee or however you want to label it. So that is definitely not a positive response if you're on Team Unity. Then we've got Gary of Facepunch Studios, and of course Gary is the name from Gary Mod. Here's his response, and I'm only going to be able to read some of these because he didn't pull any punches. So first off, Unity wants us to start paying them $200,000 a month. What a funny story. And we go down here. I was wrong. They broke out the fees, how much it would cost, and then basically the way of how to actually execute this. And then we have, hang on, these bleep trying to tax Steam or the developer, and then talk about their stock. And then, yes, the planet got destroyed, but for a beautiful moment in time, we added $2 a share for shareholders. And there was one other comment here that it basically just said, I'm out, I'm done. So yeah, that's one of their bigger developers is also gone. So that is Gary's Mod and Rust developer. Again, not a good response. And then we have Dusk's developer here. So his response was pretty succinct. Basically, WTF. And it kind of keeps going down. And then we go, that's the solution for combating abuse of their new bath salts delirium of a policy, self-reporting. Yeah, I'm dropping this stupid engine, bleep them. So that's Dusk's developer there. And he's, again, looking for other engines and other tools. So they seem to have lost a developer here for sure. Next up, we have Landfall Games, the makers of the Totally Accurate Battle Simulator and other games such as Stick Fight. They're not happy either. So their announcement is yesterday Unity announced without warning to its user base that they will start charging Unity developers a fee per copy installed of their game. We have used Unity to develop all of our major titles such as Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, which has been installed tens of millions of times throughout the year. To say this announcement is concerning is an understatement, and we are questioning our continued use of the engine. They are making this change without any form of co-opt-in or opt-in, or consent from developers, and retroactively applying these new rules to games developed and released years ago. This goes against their previous statements and is a huge breach of trust. When we started working on Tabs and Stick Fight, we made the decision to use Unity partly because of their flat payment method or model, something that they are now going back on. It's like if we increase the price of our games and sent everyone who played them an invoice for the difference, and that's a very accurate example. We would love to stick with the engine we have used to make games for the past 10 years, but at present, we don't see how we can start any new projects using Unity when there is no way to know what kind of retroactive business model they might throw at us in the future. Then we've got Rami Ismail. He was half of the Van Beer team. He doesn't really say anything really specific. His comments are just sort of across the board. So we just want to make games. Listen, folks, here's the main problems here. And it's a pretty accurate breakdown. Unity should not be able to retroactively change terms and conditions on products or sales they've already made. Making this move says they're willing to, and that should be terrifying. Unity should not be able to lock you into new terms by having the window for a change to their terms and condition be shorter than the period they allow developers to cancel their agreements under. They're willing to, and that should be terrifying. Unity should not be able to charge for something for which the only measure is an internal black box system for which there is no method for external verification. Trust me is not a valid way to charge. Now, this is in response to how Unity said that they were going to determine how many units were sold. They basically said they have their own algorithms. It's a bit of a black box solution, and they're going to tell you. If you don't like it, you can dispute it, but yeah, that's how the numbers for sales for developers is going to be determined. And yeah, trust me, bro, is not a valid defense. Unity should not charge developers or their partners, including publishers or distributors, for things that earn no revenue and or are outside of their control. Installs cannot be controlled or limited, and means licensing a copy, sale or not, creates a perpetual financial risk. Again, another very big point. It comes down to trust. I don't think particularly many developers will be bankrupted by this, but any system that is sprung on developers that could allow them to be financially harmed in any way by their success should not be tolerated by any business looking to build a sustainable future. Again, a very accurate statement. And any changes announced should be tested against those 4 conditions: no retroactive application, ability to opt out, verifiable data only, and no changes for things outside of developer control and or that make no income. Those 4 conditions are met, that's acceptable. So this is a pretty accurate summary of the situation, and would actually be my retort to a lot of people saying, well, I don't make that much money, I don't care. Well, these are all very, very valid points in this, even if it doesn't affect you personally. Next up, after that, we have Dylan Rogers. He's working with the Dusk fellow from earlier on, who is already leaving. He's making a game called Gloomwood, and Gloomwood will definitely be my last Unity game, likely even if they roll back the changes, and a bit of a summary of why that is the case. Then we've got Colorgrave. Thanks for everything, Unity. This is shocking. It's hard to know where to start. Unity, a company and game engine that has long lauded for its accessibility to and support of small game developers, has announced plans that dramatically and negatively impact those same developers. Obviously, this includes us. We're sure you're hearing it from developers as well, but Unity is going to start charging developers based on downloads of the game, not purchases, but free downloads, re-downloads, even pirated downloads. It's also unclear it will be retroactively include future sales of our already released games. By the way, there's been a little bit of clarification here. They're saying that it's not going to affect pirated games, re-downloads, etc. What Unity have not said is how they're going to make that work beyond the earlier thing Rami mentioned of trust me, bro. So really not an answer yet, but some of this has been sort of clarified since. Sort of. For us, many other developers, it is a struggle to release our games, sacrificing our time and often our well-being to put out what we hope will be a great experience for players. Now, Unity has betrayed the people who gave it the position it has enjoyed until now. We don't know what this means for us going forward, and we apologize for any delay that may cause in our development as we try to figure out what the heck we're going to do. All we can say now is thank you for continuing to stick with us. After that, we've got Brian Wilson, who is he developed the Forest Cathedral and also pitches games and helps with pitches. As someone who's developed in Unity, this is bad. As someone who helps run a publisher with upcoming Game Pass titles, this is very bad. As someone who reviews thousands of pitches a year, 95% of them in Unity, this is extremely bad. And then we've got Toasty, Ashes of Dusk. Our next project after Toasty was going to utilize the Unity engine. Since Vox and Duper are familiar with it, if this fee goes through, we will have to seek out a different engine. Indie devs need our help more than ever. And then we've got, just for fun here, George Broussard of 3D Realms and Apogee fame, also known for Duke Nukem 3D. He's been sounding off on this as well, and basically heard from inside Unity that the blog post was reviewed for weeks, and internal concerns about poor/confusing messaging, Game Pass, etc. were all ignored. It's a resignation time for some folks. Hopefully we will see a walk back, I fear, for Unity. And then we've got Thomas Sala. This is the creator of Falconeer. And he says, what I dislike about this Unity debacle, what I also dislike about this Unity debacle, I already committed to their engine for my new game, put years and years of work into my pipeline. I did so under the simple per-seat license I am happy to pay. Now while I'm close to release, they spring something new on me, not a price increase, a fundamental change in how we do business together. I have no options, can't go back, can only bend and pay up. It's a form of blackmail. It's not dependable. How will they change it 2 years from now, a decade? It is gross, and it makes me want to go somewhere else with my business. So yeah, not a good feeling there. And we've got Matt Greenwood, the maker of a Little Kitty game, and he created Double Daggers and worked on a variety of other pretty big games, including Half-Life 2, Portal, Counter-Strike Go, etc. And yeah, this will absolutely be my last Unity game for me, 100%. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the developer response that I have found that have been made publicly about this change. Quite simply, Unity, if you are watching, if you are paying attention, you are burning the house down. Roll this back. Implement a perpetual EULA that attaches to the version people are developing with so that they are protected from you pulling this kind of crap in the future. Developers are not happy, and the reason why is, well, it makes sense. What you've done is, what's the word? Oh yeah, awful. So let me know what you think. Comments down below, and I will talk to you all later. Goodbye.